YouTube, what's going on, guys? My name is Skeckles, as most of you know, and I just want to preface the video you guys are about to see with just telling you what really happened, how this video came to be, and how I got in contact. So I want to say 3 weeks ago, I came across a YouTube channel called Eric Bork, which is the person who runs it, and I started watching all his videos, and I just watched all of them. I was like, wow, this guy is legit, because he was vlogging with professional skateboarders like Alex Midler, Mikey Taylor, Brandon Biebel, Paul Rodriguez, all the big guys in the skateboarding world. He filmed at Brandon Biebel's park, and I was like, whoa. This is cool. I need to find out how he did this. So I started getting in contact with him. I started messaging him on YouTube, and we kept going back and forth. And I said, hey, you want to do a Skype interview? Because I am here in Virginia. He is on the other side of America in San Clemente, California. So I was like, I can't come and go to California and meet you, so let's just do a Skype interview. And he was really chill, really down with it, and that is how this video came to be. Now, Eric is a super great dude. I was extremely impressed with him. I thought he was just the nicest guy, and just as nice as he could be. And I really just wanted to show you guys and tell you guys to head over to his channel right now. Oh, well, not right now. Watch the rest of this video and then head over to his channel. I'll have a link in the description down below, and then I'll have a link in the video at the end of this video. And head over to his channel. He's got some great content. I know you will not be disappointed. And now I'm gonna shut up because I've already talked too long and you guys want to see the interview. So here we go. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end of this interview. Peace, guys. Let me make this
Let's do
bigger.
it.
We'll just jump right into a few questions I've been thinking about. So we're just gonna start off basic and then work our way up to some more in-depth questions. But so how, when did you, and how did you start skating? So like, how long have you been skating, and what made you start it?
So I started skating when I was 8 years old, and I lived in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And basically I went to the flea market there,
Yeah.
and they had a skateboard. And then Jason Jesse was
Okay.
like the big pro in Santa Cruz.
Cool.
And so I actually met him
Oh, wow.
and got his phone number, and I used to terrorize him and call him every weekend.
That's
so I got
awesome.
the skateboard at the flea market, and somehow my parents got his phone number, and I would call him all the time.
That's awesome.
So yeah, 8 years old in Santa Cruz, and then I moved to Southern California when I was like 12,
Okay.
and didn't realize I was moving to like the mecca of skateboarding. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
used to skate at Santa Monica Courthouse, like when it was huge back in the day.
That's
Like when
awesome.
it first became huge, I would drive from where I live in Ventura County, which is about an hour, to LA to skate the courthouse
Okay.
pretty much every weekend I could.
That's awesome, dude. So
Yeah, it
you
was
were right in the
really
heart of
fun spot back
skateboarding.
then.
Yeah. You were right in the heart of skateboarding. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
sick. So how long have you lived in California? So all your life, I take it?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I've lived in California my whole life. So about 20 years in Southern California now, and then the first part in Northern California.
So like, would you ever move from California, or are you pretty happy with where you are?
No, I actually did.
Okay.
So I used to be the team manager for a backpack company called OGO.
Okay.
And it's been a while, so people might not know about it now, like kids that are just starting to skate. But the team I was the team manager, and I helped develop the products and stuff like that. And the team was Eric Costin, Paul Rodriguez, Tori Pudwell, Mikey Taylor. There was a bunch of people on the team. So
Okay.
I lived out of state, and I didn't like it.
All right. Yeah.
So after that, I was like, I'm never moving out of state
Never
again.
That's awesome. I mean,
You can skate year-round here.
yeah, you can. I want to move there so bad.
Yeah.
It's like my dream. That's so cool though. So a lot of people, I look through your videos, and like the main question running through like all of your videos is, how in the world did you manage to start skating with all these really professional videos? And that's one of the things people really like about your videos, is that so long we've seen them as just these guys that show up on our TVs every once in a while, and it's really all professional. We don't really get to see them just chilling and having fun. And that's what makes your channel like really cool, is how relaxed it is. So how do you
Appreciate
manage
that,
to do that?
What was it? Sorry. First of all, I appreciate that. And then
Okay.
I couldn't hear the question. What
The
was
main
the question?
the question is how did you start? How did you meet all these guys?
Oh yeah, okay, for sure. So, and it's actually kind of a cool story. So, I was a professional skateboarder myself for about a year,
Okay.
and then I actually quit. I was really, I'm not so religious nowadays, but I was really, really religious back then, and
Okay.
I quit to go on a mission. And so, when I was a professional skateboarder, there was this kid that would always come around, and his name was Mikey Taylor. And he was just this kid, right?
Yeah.
And so he would always come around like a few times. And I heard about him, like he was pretty good at skating.
Yeah.
And I saw a sponsor me video, and he was really good.
Really good.
Like he was probably nollie nose grinding like a 7 stairs, the trick that stands out. And so he was just like so into skating. And then I met him, and we started hanging out, and became friends.
Okay.
And he was filming. It was before he got on City Stars. So I met him probably a year or so before he got on, maybe more, maybe like a year or two before he got on City Stars. And then Mikey and me were both really social people.
Yeah.
So he's always meeting people, and I'm always meeting people. And we just, I guess from there, we would go to the Valley, which to kind of put it into perspective, there's LA, and then the Valley, and then we live over here. So
Okay.
we'd always go to the Valley and then to LA. And Paul P-Rod's from the Valley.
Yeah.
And so we'd skate with the crew back then. There was a lot of people, but it was Paul Rodriguez, Spanky, Terry Kennedy would always hang out with us, or we'd hang out with him. Sometimes we'd go to Long Beach.
Yeah.
And just between that, those, and there's a lot more. There's like a lot more people we would hang out with, but that was like the kind of the crew that we would always go skate with.
Okay. That's awesome.
And so from there, we kind of, and then I've also worked in skateboarding for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So working as a team manager, I would give backpacks to all of the AMs and all of the pros,
Yeah.
and so I met a lot of people like that also.
That's awesome. That's and like I said, that is pretty awesome. So what this is another question. Like what gave you the drive, or what made you start YouTube videos? Like why'd you start?
Sure. So I actually a couple of years ago I was working in medical sales.
Okay.
And my friend owns the company, and he's a great friend of mine, and he's really good at it.
Okay.
And I did good at it, but I just realized it wasn't what I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I finally was like, you know what, this is not what I want to do. And so I was like, I've known skateboarding, I grew up doing it, I love it. And so I started going skating with Mikey again. And I learn a lot from like webinars and stuff like that. And so I started noticing all these like famous people kind of on YouTube.
Kind of,
like,
yeah.
I noticed like your standard YouTube guys,
Mhm.
or and girls, like the Jenna Marbles and the people like that,
Yeah.
right? And then I was like, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden I discovered that there's skateboarders who kind of do that too.
Do too, yeah. That's awesome.
And so I saw like Andy Schrock and Christopher Chan.
That's so good.
And then one day I was at P-Rod's Park, and he was doing a live, I think it was with Mikey, and Chris was there. And so I was
Chris
like,
Chan?
I know you, you're the guy I've seen on YouTube. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do like these videos. And he was like, yeah, man. And he was super nice and cool. And then I started looking at him like, this is really fun. Like,
Yeah.
what these guys are doing. And I was like, we're out skateboarding. Why don't I just start, like filming it and making videos? And so I kind of experimented with like vlogs of my family and stuff like that. But then I guess this is kind of I won't go too much into it, but there's a lot of energy and excitement around Brandon Beeble's park right now.
Yeah.
And so we would go hang out there, and Beeble he's just on fire. And so I would just pull out the camera and start filming, and just stuff would start happening. And then so I'd start going home, making edits, and then Mikey makes edits too for his YouTube. He's going to start doing that a lot more also. And then Beeble does his Instagram, and he's doing YouTube now too.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen
he's
it.
not doing it in the way like kind of like we're doing it, where he's going to be talking into the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
don't
cool.
know the exact plan, so I'm not going to say like what he is and isn't
Yeah.
do, but he's definitely getting stoked on doing YouTube, or he already is, and he's gonna put a lot of energy into it. And he's just so funny.
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest guys ever. So
cool. So that's pretty much his story. Yeah.
Yeah, I got into YouTube because we were out there and there was a ton of stuff going on, and I was like, why don't I film it? And then we started filming it, making videos, and it was fun.
That's awesome.
I mean, probably for the same reason you did, right?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely generally, you know, I was kind of this, it's kind of so much, we are like kind of opposite in the fact that I was one of those kids that's like by myself skateboarding all the time. Because Virginia, I've lived in Virginia for a long time, and it's just kind of desolate when it comes to skateboarding. I mean, which is something I want to improve, but now that I moved to DC, there's a lot more skaters, but I was kind of by myself. And then I started watching YouTube, and the same people, you know, Andy Schrock, they're pretty much the main, the whole Revive crew is kind of just the main skateboarding YouTube channel. And I was like, it kind of felt like I was skating with them, which sounds kind of dumb, but I was kind of like, it just made me more inspired to go out in my driveway to the parks and skating. And then I moved here, and I was like, you know, I feel like I've got the personality to do it, and I got like a little GoPro, and I was like, it can't be that hard. So I just started, and been working. I've had it for about 4 months now, so that's cool.
That's awesome. It's crazy how good the GoPros look on YouTube.
Yeah, I just upgraded to that.
I have a DSLR, like I have this 70D.
Oh yeah.
And the GoPros actually look really good on YouTube.
They do.
It blows my mind.
I just upgraded to that, but I still use my GoPro for a lot of videos. Yeah, so this is kind of a different question, but along the lines of YouTube. How do you think the skateboarding community is growing towards skateboarding? Because in the I feel like there's a little bit of tension right now, or there at least was a couple months ago between like the Revive. I don't know how to put it, but I've seen a lot of tension.
I think I know exactly what you mean. Someone asked me that on YouTube. You're talking about tension between like the YouTube guys and the pro guys, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So I think, and I went into a ton of depth on the guy that asked on one of my videos, but I'll try to keep it brief. But basically, the pro skateboarders that I see and work with, they're also very smart professionals.
Okay.
And there's a lot of hate in anything, and there's a lot of hate in skateboarding, but most of it and a lot of it's not from the pros. It's from the people watching the pros. And so what I've seen is that on social media there's a few things that really have that are really good for people's careers. Snapchat, for example, not really, because Snapchat, it goes away the next day. So if you go out and you film something on Snapchat and someone worked really hard for it, it's going to be gone the next day. So there's really no point to building your, following on Snapchat as a skateboarder, except for, like one of my favorites, and it's private, is Beebles, because he's super funny.
Yeah.
But it's just like him chilling in his hot tub and stuff like that, and like hanging out. So Instagram, and another, I guess before I say that, another bad example is Facebook. Right now, there's really no benefit to a pro career on Facebook. That they're trying to do the original video uploads, but it's still, there's just no benefit right now. Yeah. People have built all this traction on Facebook and it doesn't do anything for them. Instagram and YouTube are definitely good things to do long term for a professional skateboarder's career, because they can control what they put on it and how they do it, and they can just have control themselves. So with that said, these professional guys know that, and they want to build it up.
Yeah.
So they go on tour and they deal with shops, they deal with distributors, they deal with, not only in the United States but in overseas. And so when they see someone like Andy, who's built a board brand and has a skate park, to them, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the pros. I'm closest with Mikey, and I've talked with him about it, but I'm not speaking on behalf of him or anyone else. But this is kind of just what I've observed. Is that awesome? They figued out how to build a career. Let's talk about Andy, because Andy's someone that both myself and Mikey have communicated with and talked to.
Yeah.
That's awesome for Andy that he built a board brand.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
good for him. And it looks like his crew has a lot of fun. So you're not going to find any hate from Mikey towards Andy. Like, for sure you won't.
Okay.
If kids want to say something, that's, you know, I hear him hating on everyone. I hear him hating on Beeble. I hear him hating on, you know, P-Rod. You know, people hate on everything. But really, the pros themselves, they see him as allies.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
It's like, hey, these guys have figured out how to do something that's important for my career. I mean, it's the same thing as when you meet someone at a new sponsor that you might want to skate for. Let's talk to them and, you know, start a friendship and a dialogue and, you know, see if we can be friends. And
Absolutely.
I mean, one thing that I'll say that a lot of people don't see is that these guys have deals going on, and a lot of times they want to be on the same team, but it doesn't work out. But they still retain a friendship. That's happened. So one example is, and this is public, so it's not, you know, me disclosing anything, but Paul and Costin on Nike. You know, and Eric was originally someone who, you know, back then they both skated for S, and you know, didn't want them to ride for Nike, and now they're teammates on Nike. But they were still friends when they weren't, you know. So that's that was a lot longer than I wanted.
No,
to
that's perfect, because this was one of the main questions I wanted to ask you, since you're kind of the number one source, I guess, to say, because you're one of the only YouTubers who's with skating them on a regular basis. My camera's being stupid, so I'm just gonna set up my phone real quick to record.
Yeah, no worries. Do your thing, set it up.
But sometimes I don't get this DSLR. I'm still trying to figure it out. Sometimes it really annoys me.
You know what? A really cool. You can probably just edit this part out since we're doing this. Or since you're setting the camera out.
Yeah, I will.
But when we get off the call, or when you have time, check out a program called Call Recorder.
Okay.
And it basically records your audio and video for your Skype call.
Yeah, I these are all both backups. I have a audio.
Okay, so you do have. Okay.
This is hopefully we're going to be recorded on screen and audio right on here, and that's what I'm hoping the video will look like. I'm just having these as backups just in case, because I've never used it before. So I just don't want to like mess up the whole call. Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, let's keep going. Thank you for that answer. That was perfect. Just what I was looking for.
Okay.
So let me just think. So what's your favorite company? Let's just go into some lighter questions.
What kind of company?
Any company. Board company maybe?
I mean, personally myself, I skate Revive skateboards. That's what I skate.
Right.
I mean, there's... Yeah, I mean, as far as being
you don't
my
have
favorite,
to pick. Yeah, that's kind of an awkward.
So I guess what I skate is I skate Revive, but the reason I skate Revive is because I like Andy, and I'm not trying to be a professional.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not on the Revive team.
No.
Like, they're not going to make a board of me. But I was just like, hey, so for me, I kind of pick someone that I really look up to and admire, and that's Andy.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, answer. So, what's your favorite camera?
Okay, I love the GoPro. So the GoPro, it's just so, like, small and basic. It's just so, and I have this handle. Where's it at? So I use this GoWorks handle.
Okay, yeah. That's
and
awesome.
It works really good. Now, this is for YouTube. I also like I mean, to be honest, I want a full frame.
Yeah.
But right now I have this 70D, this SLR, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I have a 70D. I mean, my favorite camera would be the Red, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So and I wouldn't film for YouTube with the Red.
Obviously, yeah, definitely.
And then, honestly, I use the iPhone with the hotshot handle. Have you ever seen the hotshot handle?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I use that. I don't have it right here.
Yeah, it's fine.
I do have it, yeah. I have it right here, actually. So this is what we film with a lot at Beebles.
Okay.
Is the iPhone and the hotshot handle. Just like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
You just clip it on,
Yeah,
and then you can just roll alongside and hold it like that.
that's sick.
So the iPhone, the reason it's so amazing, as you know, but for skating at somewhere like People's, is we can add the slow mo, edit it up, airdrop it to each other.
And then
So
just
by
put on
people
Instagram.
will land a clip, and we'll have it live within like 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's
So-
and then Instagram, so on the social medias you can just get it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the iPhone the most is you don't have to do any hassle about the editing. You can just do it right there, post on Instagram.
Exactly.
You're done.
And iMovie, yep.
Let me see. Who's your favorite skater?
My favorite skateboarder, I mean, style wise, I love Shane O'Neill. I think
agree.
he's just, it's like he has this like freakishly good style. I mean, man, I have a lot of favorite skateboarders.
Yeah.
Beeble's definitely one of my favorite skateboarders. Mikey's one. It's funny because he's like one of my best friends. I was at his
Yeah.
wedding, but he's also one of my favorite skateboarders.
That's awesome.
And then Paul, I love watching Paul skateboard.
Sick.
Like yesterday, we were skating with Paul, and it's like mind blowing every time you skate with Paul. So,
Favorite movie? We're getting to the wacky stuff now.
favorite movie. Why don't we go? Well, movie, I would say probably.
It's a hard question. Yeah.
I mean, no, I have a bunch, but
We could do like top 3, top 5.
you know what I really like? Our TV shows.
Okay. Yeah. You can pick one of those.
The Walking Dead, Homeland, Breaking Bad, Fear the Walking Dead. I'm super into right now.
Cool.
So I would say those are my favorites.
Nice. Let me see. I'm going to start doing. I just have like a bunch of random questions.
Do your thing.
So I'm just going to start asking you some weirder questions just to mix it up a little bit. If you could have one superpower for a day, what would it be?
One superpower. Geez, you know what? It would be to go back in time.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, so make sure you make good decisions because
Yeah.
sometimes you can't go back in time.
Okay. That's a good one. What kind of music do you like?
I like anything that goes with skating. I mainly listen to hip hop and rap, but
Yeah.
if it goes good with skating, I like it.
So you like to listen to music while you skate?
No.
You don't.
Well, take that back. At Beebles Park, he has a stereo system,
Okay. Nice.
so we'll listen to music as we skate, but I never put headphones in.
Okay. Yeah, I know some people. I'm one of those guys that wears headphones, helps me concentrate, but there's like a lot of people who are different. That's
I just
okay.
can't do it, yeah.
I like stereos too. I've got a little I got a little Bluetooth speaker. We bring it to the park. We just set it and go, which is nice. Let me see. Favorite YouTuber? I could probably guess it, but who's your favorite YouTuber?
Skateboarding or non-skateboarding?
Anything. It can be anything. Like this doesn't have to be limited to just skateboarding.
You know who's like kind of funny that people will probably laugh at
Who?
is I watched that kid Casper Lee.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think he's pretty funny.
that's awesome.
And then as far as in skateboarding, it's Andy Schrock. I watch him a lot. And
Yep.
I just like Andy's crew
Yeah,
and how he's like in the warehouse having fun. And then I also like Casey, and I'm friends with them, but Casey Beckler.
Casey Beckler. Yep, that's sick. I'm the same way with like the Revive crew. Like I love how they're just having fun. Like I feel like sometimes people are like all in skateboarding, and they're just there to get the clip and then be done.
Yeah.
I just really appreciate how they're all just like let's just enjoy skateboarding instead
Yeah,
of
for
making
sure.
instead of making it like a job. That's what I like
Yeah.
about it. What's your worst skate injury?
My worst, I mean, I've never had anything too crazy. I've gotten knocked out. I've gotten stitches in the back of my head.
Okay.
I've gotten stitches right there. So one time I fell backwards off of a ledge, and then that's the stitches on the back of my head.
Yeah, that sounds
And
pretty good.
I fell from like a 12-foot oververt ramp to like my chin.
Okay.
And then I went up a pyramid and got knocked out and woke up in a wheelchair.
Wow.
Those are the ones.
So you have had some pretty good injuries.
That's over like 20 years though.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty good. Sick. And then, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I want to own a company.
You want to own a company?
So, yeah, I still want to do YouTube for sure. Like, I love YouTube and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I'll still go out and skateboard. And I'm going to own a company.
That's awesome.
Like,
Sick.
in the middle of getting it started, so.
That's pretty awesome. Who were you pro for?
I was pro for Santa Cruz. So, my lineup of I was pro for Santa Cruz, but then I wasn't yet on these were my sponsors. Santa Cruz Emerica was my shoe sponsor. Fresh Jive was actually cool back then. Shoot, I shouldn't say it like that, but I already did. Oh well. Fresh Jive had a skate team. That's what I'll say. Fresh Jive had a skate team back then and was pretty awesome at skateboarding. They had Mike York, Gino Iannucci, Daniel Castillo, and then Spitfire, Independent, and this shop called Circle Sports.
So you were up there. That's awesome. And then who was your best friend?
Mikey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because a lot of these questions I kind of knew, like I had a general idea of, but cool, Mikey.
Yeah.
And then finally, what's next for you? This is probably the last question. So.
I mean, basically I'm working on my startup company right now,
okay.
And skateboarding, and I think that's as far as like what's next. I think hanging out with my friends and skateboarding, is really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I've skateboarded since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
And I've just met so many cool people. I've worked outside of the industry a couple times, and I really like the industry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'm